Hello everyone. Well, she's in color. Got a little bit of cleanup to do here and there. But not much. Wanted you guys to join me today as I work on this little thing for a little bit. Got a little bit of trash right there you gotta get out. But it's yellow. Can't get no yellow than that. So, what we're going to do today is pull out some wet sandpaper. I'm going to work a little bit on some issues that I see. Glorious, glorious. I had a package of wet sandpaper. Here it is. How's everybody's day been so far? Hello, Casey. Hope you guys are all well. All right. Just think, now that I've learned the ways of Blair Pletcher, from now on, if I ever come across something that I think I've runt, if I can live with it being a rusted job, I'll just work with what I got, Casey, and just try to work with what you got and make it a rust bucket or something per se, instead of trashing the whole project. I know it's frustrating. I've seen a lot of great builds that were looking good, like Matthew over there at the MC Garage. He's had several builds look very, very well, really well, matter of fact. And then all of a sudden, something in the clear coat or something, and it's personal preference. He didn't want it. He didn't want it in there, so he would I don't want to say shit can it, but he would put it in the, strip it down and start all over. It's definitely your guys' choice, but for me, I think I would rather move on to something else, and you can start rusting it and making it look like like it used to look good, and now it's all, it served its time. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good choice there, Casey. What's your weather like right now, Casey? Yeah. Okay, I had one little spot over here I wanted to get rid of. Looks like I got rid of that right there. And then the roof has a little bit of trash in it. So let's tackle that now. 'Cause I feel glorious, glorious. I was watching some Facebook live videos last night, and a lot of people are complaining about Facebook copyrighting a lot of videos. When you guys wet sand, you want to stay away from the edges. It looks like I might be going all over, but I'm really just using the tips of my fingers, and I'm staying away from the edges. That's usually where you'll burn through and cause problems. And see how that looks now, like that. Then we'll put some compound on it. Oops, don't dump that over, dummy. The worst part about painting trucks, guys, is when the bed is made in here like this. A lot of times us builders, we have a bad problem with not being able to get our color all the way in through there, so sometimes it looks dry. I'm lucky today. That's what I was worried about. I was waiting to go, I was going to do like a black bed liner like thing in there, but it looks like it covered pretty good. It's like, for some reason, you know, you create overspray when you spray in these joints like that, and sometimes it's very, very dry. It's like, you know, you can tell that you try to clear coat it, but it didn't take, you know what I mean? Now I feel glorious. Alright. Now what I want to do, got that done. I use a high build clear, guys, so I need to clean up the edges of this hood. I need to clean up the edges of the hood so the hood will fit. It's not wanting to fit right now. If you look, it's just got too much clear on it, and it's messing with the fitment of the hood. So usually, let's take out my sander. Now the paint job was suggested by a guy I've worked with for about 12 years now, 10 or 12 years. He actually has a big bright yellow Dodge pickup truck, and he had recommended, since this is a Sunny, it should be a yellow paint job. So we went with the yellow paint job based on Kirby's. A little bit more. Don't have my glasses on. I can't see what I'm doing. I think just a little bit more, fellers, and we'll have her. Just a little bit more. What happens is you test fit these, and then depend upon, you know, your primer layers, and then your color layers, and then your primer, and then your clear coat. And I use a high build primer and a high build clear. What do you think? There she is. Nice. And then here's a mock-up what it will look like on the wheels. I played around with the mock-up three or four times this morning before we went in the video. Josh, it is a 20... I forgot the label. It's upstairs. I think it's off of a 2015 or 2013 Gallardo. Man. So we'll get that down. Got that done. Let's one thing I wanted to get done. What the heck? Okay. One thing I did want to get done. Where's my intercooler? Okay. Morning, Gilbert. This is what I was doing yesterday, buddy. When you were sitting there, and I told you I was in the paint booth. I got the yellow sprayed on my Sunny build. And then I worked on my boy's little whatever you think. So get that right there put in like that. And I need to see. We had an accident with the grill, guys, but I think I could save it. But I think I can save it. Oh, thanks, Gilbert. The grill broke on me yesterday when I was test fitting, and I don't have much room to glue it back together based on how I did everything. So that's been bothering me all night. So let's work on that a little bit. Now, Gilbert, I still got these drones to build. I still got the plague drones to do, but I need a bigger case because they wouldn't fit in the one case I had. So I still got these to do. I'll tack at a later date. Yeah, there's several different Nurgles still out there for the collection that I wouldn't mind picking up. Yeah, I put a photo etch piece in there, Gilbert. And that's what happens is I thinned it out too much. And it snapped. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Gilbert. Alright. We'll let that dry out. Looks like I got it back where it needed to be. Alright, so I got that in place. Now we can do the marker lights. And then we'll see it with this hood on. The hood hinges must got some paint, too much paint built up around it. It's kind of want to be a pain in the butt. know some builders don't even hinge them until they're built, but I like to test fit, move everything first. See, there it goes. Now it will open and close much better. Alright. Now let's move forward. Here's what I want to do. Okay. Guys, Gilbert taught me this trick here. I made a wet palette, and then I got me a little sponge right here to where I can use my wet palette, and then this sponge gets the brush wet too. Keeps my brush wet. Let me see, I want to use put the black on my wet palette. Get me a medium brush. And just like that, you keep your sponge wet, and then your brush gets wet. You can see that. And that right there helps it. Helps you do your painting. Then what I'll do there, get that. And then you make a mask like that. But with this being Vallejo acrylics, it'll just come right off, and I'm just blending it to where I want it to fade into those gaps. Like that. Might have a little too much paint on there already. I use a 2-part clear. I'm using a Nason clear, Gilbert. It's an automotive clear. It's actually a 3-part, but they only call it 2-part because it takes a hardener to it. But I use a reducer. You know, my temperatures here in the Midwest is kind of like yours. Gilbert. And you made the comment yesterday about humidity. So what I do is I use a medium reducer. I'm going to switch to my littler brush. Guys, Gilbert uses, what do you like to use, Gilbert? Toad, broken toad or something. I picked these up. These right here is an 8, yeah, broken toad. This right here is an 18-0. It's pretty thin. Gilbert's brushes ain't as long. He has more control. Like I said, you guys can go look online. There's a lot of these Sunny Trans kits being built by C1. A lot of them are going with tons of black accents, like the fender flares are black and that kind of stuff. I kind of didn't want my flares black. I kind of like the Liberty Walk look. Pete at Scaled World, he just posted up the Liberty Walk skyline that he's working on. And you guys can see how it looks so much better with all the body color, with all the body stuff the same color. And that's kind of what I was going for here. Yeah, it's a nice rainy day here after all the humidity we've had all week. Hopefully it'll kill this hay fever, man. Just giving the door jams guy some attention. We'll let that dry on that side. And then, like, if you guys missed it yesterday, the whole front end is custom. I redid all this front roll pan, redid these, come on, focus, redid these lower vents, redid, made all this my own. I used a C1 front end valance, but then I went in and you know, rounded it off and, come on, you ding thing. There it goes. I rounded it off and then did all that. All I'm using, guys, is the Vallejo 950 black. Got that jam there done. And then I'm going to jam out the tailgate. Then on the tailgate, guys, I smooth out all. There's supposed to be some rubbers here, and then some like tailgate stops right here, and I smoothed all those out. Oh yeah, I removed the front marker lights that were in the fenders here too. Gilbert was showing us, hope you don't mind me speaking on your behalf, Gilbert. Gilbert was showing us how, usually I use Evercoat Metal Glaze. Gilbert is using a 3M that he got off of Amazon. And I picked up this. And this is what I use to fill my stuff in. Gilbert's 3M thing is about $23. It's a great big tube. It's almost maybe a tube and a half of this. And then this right here is just a Kimbo spot putty thing. This right here is like $8. You can have this right here, guys. This is from Paul Britland. Really enjoys this. But I think my primers, what I think it is, I think my primers and paint have too much chemicals in it, you know, thinner base, lacquer base stuff that I'm using, and this tends to shrink. But you guys can see Paul Britland's videos over there at the International Scale Modeler. He gets great results. And this right here is like $3 to $4 in the U.S. He don't get it very often in the U.K., so I picked him up a tube here a few months ago and sent to him. But he really enjoys this. To me, I think it's my primer and paint that uses the red Bondo. Yeah, it shrinks. For me, anyway. So I picked this up and started using this. It's got a little different smell to it, guys. And it seems to be like, when I poured it out on my mirror to do some body work, it's not as smooth as the 3M that Gilbert's using. You can watch Gilbert when he was working on his horse. And he was fixing the spine down the back. It went on real smooth, and by the time he fixed the neck and the joint in the leg, he was already able to sand on the horse's back. This does not dry that fast. It says ready to sand in minutes. I seen the best success if I let it dry overnight, you know, so maybe eight hours, you know, and make it dry. But it was a lot cheaper. But you can't go wrong sticking with 3M. I wanted to try this. Me and Gilbert were talking about this one. I know the 3M works well. Gilbert suggested the 3M. I seen this and wanted to try it because of the cost difference, just to see. And it's great to have a community that can compare back and forth with each other to help you guys buy the best product the first time. I'll put this to use, but I think for if you want to stay busy building, the 3M would be a better spot putty to fill. And this right here eliminates the two-part putties, guys. This is why we was comparing this stuff. You know, the two-part, you got to have a hardener, and then you have to mix it up. But whatever you mix up and don't use usually goes to the trash. So in order to save ourselves money and help you guys learn the best product to use, I would suggest spending the money, getting the 3M that Gilbert has. You guys can see it in some of his videos. And then I tried this. It's not bad. It's just not as quick. And you can see, you know, there's no shrinkage, and it laid in there good. So, just a heads up. And me and Gilbert were talking about that, and why you were here, I wanted to bring that up. You guys will see people, like you'll look at Brett. Brett does it too. But Paul, Britlin, and them over there at the ISM, when they're building their planes, they always talk about using a filler to go in there. Like some of them will use sprue glue, or some of their gaps are so big they put plastic in it. Sometimes you have to build up your jams or what you're trying to cover over, because the 2 putties we're talking about today, well, actually all 3, are just to cover the skim coat. They're not to fill and shape, you know what I mean? So don't think what we're talking about, you know, you can go in here and put a big old glob in there and fix this big old gap if you didn't want this gap in your model build, you know, because it's not meant for that. It's meant just to spot, you know. I remember for years, I don't know how, you know, some of you guys might not have ever known, but testers used to have a tube of filler putty, and man, that thing would take 2 months to dry. It seemed like it would never dry. It would just sit there and sit there and sit there. If you guys have never attended an ISM live show, they're every Friday. They're going to be 2:30. Well, it's 1:30 Central Time. That's what time I watch it. So you can base your time off that. And they also have a section for us guys, that you guys can go over there to their Facebook page, and they have a post where you can go up there and show what you're working on, and they talk about your builds over the live show. They gave me some great coverage when I was doing the Nurgle stuff. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna do got too much crap on the floor. I keep running over stuff. Gilbert, that guy you're working on right now, what scale is he? Because that gun and arm looked wicked yesterday. Yeah, he's pretty tall. That's why I was asking. I didn't think he was going to be, because ain't the regular figures 28 mil? Or we're 28 heroic. Something like that. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Alright. I think I got all that I wanted blacked out, other than actually painting the trim. So then what I do... Was it about the wheels, Jay? Oh, okay. No, I just been busy, bud. I've had some things going around here at the house I had to deal with, and I have not gotten anything out to you. Yeah, I heard that they had put you, that you had to go back to the hospital for a minute because of the bleeding. Then what I like to use, guys, is I get this lighter fluid. It has a little bitty stick like this, and because I'm using an automotive base clear, it's really thick, so it won't damage. It won't damage the paint job, and it attacks this. It helps me get rid of this acrylic Vallejo paint, no issues. I used to use it all the time, even with my enamels. This, this right here is only a couple bucks. It seems to work a lot better for me than, you never want to put a thinner back over a paint job. So I've always used that instead of, trying to use a thinner over it. And the acrylic is water based, but at sometimes it takes, it's a struggle to get everything back off when you do something like this. So basically, I showed you guys a sloppy way how to do your your jams. And I want some more black in there. Gotta get that. You guys could, but I would hate to see you guys damage your paint job. You guys could, after you did something like this, let the acrylic dry, and then you could take a toothpick and go in there and try to clean it up. But, then you're going to leave yourself open to scratches and stuff, and I wouldn't recommend that. That would tear a paint job up very quick. Yeah, like I said, Jay, that was really quick. If you didn't notice, I just slopped it in there, and then I come back and finish it out this way. But like I said, I'm using Real Automotive Clear, Real Automotive Paint, so I got layers and layers built up, versus, you know, some of these guys are loving that One Touch Lacquer, I think it's called, from Kester's. So you gotta be careful, because I'd hate to see you guys tear something up on something that. So that's what I'm stressing to you guys. I use a whole different chemical-based stuff, guys. Yeah. I think my cats are on crack. All I can hear is cats running. Okay. I think I have everything. I think I have everything the way I want it to on this truck. Okay. Now let's see. Now I'm going to take this Micron. I'm going to use this Micron 5. It's a 0.05. I don't know how clean this is going to look. I'm trying to do it over the camera. Right there gives it that flare look. Recommend no coffee if you're going to be doing this stuff. Alright. That sucked. So now the flares look like they've been, you know, added on. We got that. So I think what I want to do now is, thanks Jay. I think I want to blacken out this window, the window trim on the front, and on the back, or I didn't have nothing. Thanks, Gilbert. We're gonna mock up just real quick. I think this is the most building I've done online with this truck. It's already been an hour. Then once you put the wheels and tires on it. That's the look we're going for. I hope you like it, Pete. And like again, guys, I think I'm going to call this one short today. Go to scaledworld.net. Check out more of their awesome builds. This build here is for Scaled World. It's just, I'm trying to get it come together. Oh, man, I'm tired. So, hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys get some modeling in. Gilbert, you think you'll do anything today? I still got to figure out what I want to do with the mirrors and stuff. Alright, man, I'll be looking for the notification, brother. Thanks for stopping by and supporting me. Guys, if you're not part of the Styrene Syndicate or follow Gilbert Red Dragon there, go ahead and check out his channel. He's doing a lot of informative stuff. He just did a bunch of he just did a bunch of comparisons through the Citadel colors and then the craft colors. And you know, he's a prolific builder, guys, so he's going to tell you guys the honest truth about his perspective of the colors. He still believes that there's some Citadel paints that are must-have, but there's other ways to save a buck or two. When a pot of Citadel paint is $8, but yet a thing of craft paint is $3, it'd be best to be able to buy 5 colors than 1 color. Based off Gilbert's recommendation, I've been changing my brushes a little bit, and I have the whole fleet of Stynylrez primers now, thanks to Gilbert. I went ahead and bought, so all those are primers. They're just great, and I use them enough with the brush and stuff that I keep them right there on the bench. And then, you know, just, you can't play with 6 colors, guys. You guys got to have a lot of colors. If you see Gilbert's paint rack, Paul Britlin's paint rack, sometimes it's just a joy to see these guys' paint racks over their build sometimes. Because some of us have an extensive paint rack. So try to broaden your horizons. I've really been loving doing the figures and stuff. Here's the next one I plan to do until I get the case for the plague drones, because I need a tall case for those. But Gilbert actually sent me this warrior bear, and I was going to try to paint him and then put some flocking on him and then try to do something with all these shields, but I wasn't ready to tack it until I'd painted more figures and doing, this dude is cool. And then doing, I made a stand for him. And then, now that I'm getting more comfortable using smaller brushes and do the paint. And I also got this from Gilbert, which is cool as hell. I had to make a stand for this one, too. I can't wait to get into this. I just picked me up some flesh tones. 3 or 4 different flesh tones. I think I kind of want to take this color here, Gilbert, this basic skin tone, and I think I want to put in some solemn, getting more of like a pinkish purple color, and then, try to do a nice little red wash on him through there. But it's an alien bust, guys, and I screwed him in through the bottom because it's a solid piece of resin, and so that way he stands there like that. And just a great community, a lot of great people in there. So you guys check out Gilbert's channel. Check out, if you guys see somebody new in here, please check them out. At least give them a check. You might see something you like, you might see something you don't care for, but you never know unless you go and check the guys out. So try to be receptive of each other's views. You don't have to be nasty to one another. We already got enough nasty people out here. You guys have a great day. Take it easy.